Hello, everyone. Welcome back in the session of leadership. So I'll say my future leaders are the one who will be listening and understanding the session because they want to be the successful one. They want to be the leader who leaves footprints for the followers, and followers definitely are going to follow their footprints. Now, in the last session, we have discussed about leadership goals, and in today's session, we are going to talk about what are the ways by which you can set the leadership goals. If we talk about leadership goals, the ways, the steps of setting the leadership goal, the first step of setting the leadership goal is determine your goals. Determine your goals. What are your goals? Very big question for each and everyone, that what is your goal? Many people, not just the leader, but many people have come across who don't know that what is the goal of their life, why they are living the life, for what they are working, what ultimately they want to achieve in a life. And this is the problem which is faced by most of the people in the world. Even to my surprise, I was even shocked that nowadays, when people have so many goals, and when I ask the college graduates, the undergraduates, postgraduates about, tell me what goal you have set for next 2 years. Most of the people didn't turn up. Because they said that, ma'am, we don't have the goals. We have not set the goals. We are yet to decide the goals. Ma'am, we have set many goals, but we have not achieved any goal. Why? Why? Why you don't want to determine your goals? Why you don't want to set your goals? Why? Why? Can you tell me what is stopping you from determining your goals? And now, not as individual, not just an employee, not just as a student. Now, when you want to be a leader, when you are already a leader, just think, if you do not determine your own goals, how you are going to set goals for your followers? How you are going to set goals for your team? How you are going to do that? When you do not know to set goals for yourself, can you help the people to set goals for them? Because if they're going to ask you, see, who's a leader? A leader is a person to whom the followers follow. A leader is a person who leaves the footprint for the followers, right? He is a leader. Now, when followers are going to see and look at you saying that you are a person, you are their leader, and you yourself don't have any set goals, how they're going to revert back, how they're going to respond in that situation, how they are going to do that? Don't you think that being the part of the or being the part of the organization, being a leader, it is very important for you to determine the goals for yourself, and this is the first and the foremost step. So here it is very important for a leader to determine the goals. So now when I'm talking about determining your goals, it means that create a list of all the ideas for goals you have, or you want to meet within a specific time frame. So when you are creating a list, do not think, do not give a second thought to it that whether I'm really going to achieve it or not, whether I want to achieve it or not, whether it is feasible for me to achieve it or not. No, for once, just create the list of all the ideas for the goals you have in your mind or you want to meet. Even if you think that these are the goals which might not be possible for me to achieve, those goals also write it down for once. Write those goals specifically, properly for once. Let's say, for example, the goal may only pertain to a single project, or you could set them for a month, the quarter, or the year. Go for it. Consider asking team members for their own opinions that what they want to set goals for, and be thorough. Go through that and create an expensive list. Expensive list means creating a list which will include the goals of each and every person of your team. You're basically summarizing the goals of all the people in your team and then selecting that which goals you all are going to achieve together. Because being a leader, it is your duty and it is your foremost responsibility that you pay and give proper attention to the goals of the individual also. Because being a leader, if you're going to value the goals of the individual are going to work as per your directions. Create that list. Once you have determined your goals, once you have created that expensive list, once you have created the list of all the ideas, the second step in setting your goal says analyze your goals with a smart system. Now, what is this smart system? What does this word, okay, I should not say smart, I should say SMART stands for. Why you need to analyze your goals with the SMART system? Why? You have to analyze your goals with the SMART system, that is SMART, that stands for S stands for specific, M stands for measurable, A stands for attainable, and R stands for relevant, and T, the last E, stands for time bound. Your goals need to be the SMART goals, which are specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time bound. Explore your list of goals, the list of goals, the list of opinion, the expensive list which you have created when you were determining your goals, and look for those that specifically, exactly specifies exactly what the goal is. Find out the results. Find out, just try to figure out that the results which are distinct, quantifiable, achievable by current means, by the current resources which you have, and along with that, which are related to to your current ongoing project, and that can be completed by a certain time. When you're selecting the goal for yourself, it is very important that yes, goals are related to the current project. They are achievable in the current, in the with the current resources, with the current skills, with the current people you're having, and along with that, they can be completed by a certain time. It is very important to check on for all these things. Only move forward with the goals that pass the smart system and omit the rest. So, whatever goals, though in the first step, I have asked you to determine all the goals of yours as well as the goals of the individual. But now, under the second step, as you know, there are going to be many goals which you or the employees might have set for you. You might have set for yourself, or the employees might have set for themselves. But it is not necessary that all the goals will fall under the smart system, that all the goals will be related to the specific project, the current project, the ongoing project, or all the goals are going to be achievable by the current resources, by the current means which are available, or all the goals can be completed within the certain time. If you think there are goals which are not coming under the smart system, which are not meeting the criteria set by the smart system, omit those goals. Only select those goals which comes or which passes the smart system, which comes under the smart goals, that is those are specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time bound. The goals which do not come under this criteria, the goals which are not the smart goals, omit those goals, leave those goals. If necessary, make small edit to those in which you want to keep for them to align with the smart goals. Now, if you think that there are some goals, though they are not meeting the criteria of the smart goals, but by making small changes, by making the little changes, these goals can meet the criteria of smart goals. Go ahead with that. Make those small necessary changes, added those things, and align those goals with the smart goals. Now, after you have set the smart goals, you have scrutinized all the goals and selected the goals which will come under the smart category, smart standards of goal setting. The fourth point says determine priority goals. Now, yes, you have the list of goals which will come under your set criteria, but now you need to determine the priority goal. You need to find out those goals which are your priority. That is, once you have a small list of goals, see, in the determining your goals, you have created a very long list of goals. You have added many things, many things in those things. Now, when you were going to the second step, that is smart goals, now you have a small list of goals. Those goals which comes under the smart system, those goals which are going to meet the criteria of the smart system. Now you just have those specific goals with you. Yes. So now, when we have created a list, when we have scrutinized the goals and we have a small list, so now we have to determine which one are more important than others. You just have to find out those goals. Like, you have to fix those goals into different quadrants, that, okay, these are the most important, then these are the next priority, then these are the next priority. These are very less important, which can be achieved maybe 1 or 2 months later also, but that is how you need to determine which ones are more important than the other. Until and unless you do not determine the goals which are more important, you won't be able to focus on which goals you need to start with. So consider every team member's opinion, as they often offer greater insight into certain team functions or maybe the roles that help determine priority. So it is very important that you take the views of the people, because see, it is very difficult to determine the priority by yourself, a single person. Alone, you cannot determine the priority. You cannot set the priority that, okay, this is the priority, this is my priority, and these are the goals which we have to achieve first. Maybe you are unable, you might not be in a state to find out the uh, all the pros and cons of that list and how important a goal can be. So in that situation, it is very important that you, as a team, not only as a leader but as a team, you consider the views of all the people in your team in determining the priority of the goal. Reorder your list starting with the highest priority goals. Now, once when you have set the priority, once you know that, okay, these are my priority goals, reorder your list. Make a new list by putting the highest priority goal on top. If you just create a list and there, if you are just putting the numbers at 1, 2, 3, 4, and it is going to be difficult for you to find out that how many goals you have accomplished or what goals, which goal is the next one. No, if you're going to reorder that, if you're going to create a graded list where you're putting all the goals one by one, that is going to make easy for you to know, okay, this is the one which I have completed and this is the next one which we are going to target for. So ensure that your highest priority goal is the one that you must either complete the soonest or know it has a greater impact on the team. Now, when you have set the highest priority goal, make sure you know that yes, they have to be completed sooner, and you also know what impact they are going to have, they're going to make on the team. Fourth point says announce your goal to the team. So it is very important that your entire team should know the goals which you have set. See, if you are not letting your team know, if you're not letting your team go know the goals, then how they are going to work on that? Can a team work on something where they do not know the end result? We do not know that where they will be reaching, what is the finish line, what they're trying to achieve. Until unless they are not aware about what they are trying to achieve, where they are going to reach, it is not possible for them to achieve the goal. So, with the short list of prioritize smart goals. Now, listen to the term here. I have used the summary. So now you have to announce your goals to the team. Now, see, you have set the goals, you have considered the goals of all the people, you have put it those goals as per the smart criteria. You have also found that which goals are on top priority. Now, once everything is done, now the last step of setting the goal, and which is one of the most important step of setting the goal, if you really want to accomplish, if you really want to achieve your goal, is announce your goals to the team with a short list of the prioritized goal. Now listen, what I'm saying. Shortlisted, prioritized goal. Shortlisted, which covers the second point that you have shortlisted the goal. Prioritized, which covers the third point, determining the priority of the goal. And smart goals. The final step is to announce them to your team. Let your team know that what are the goals which you are supposed to achieve, which you want to achieve. It's the time for your team, for your members to know that yes, this is the goal which we have to work on, and this is the top priority goal. So, the final step, the end point, is to announce them to your entire team with the steps on how to execute these new goals. Now, it is not just about telling them about the goal, it is also about telling them, letting them know that what are the steps which you are going to follow to execute these new goals. So these are new goals, and this is the way you are going to execute the new goals. Plan a time in which you can meet your team collectively. Plan out that time. Plan a time in which you can collectively meet your team and announce your goal and address any question or concerns that they might have. So you need to announce those things, goals announcements, addressing the questions, concerns that they might have. Help your team get started by providing them with guidance on some of the higher priority items. Provide them with the guidance on those things which you think which are really very important. They are of higher priority, and people might get confused, or they might really not be aware about how the work is to be done, how they're going to achieve those things. So help your team to get started with that. Help your team by guiding them, by providing, by extending your hand of support in some of those higher priority items. Now, uh, if we talk about few of the examples of leadership goals, now these are the ways by which you are supposed to set your leadership goals. Now we have some examples of our leadership goals. Let's just see them quickly. Have a look toward the example. So the first example of leadership goal is increase team productivity by 20% before the end of second quarter. So what is this? It says that the target of the leader, the goal set here is having the specific objective of increasing the productivity. You know, very specific objective they are having, that okay, we have set this goals that before the end of this second quarter, we have a very specific objective that we want to increase the productivity, and it should be measured like the production increase, the productivity increase should be somewhere around 20% or more. Now, which is often going to be monitored through the delivery of the assignments or other projects. So you also need to find out the way. You cannot wait for the end of the second quarter, like okay, this is the end of the second quarter and now let me check whether we have achieved that or not. No, on regular basis you have to find out those ways, delivery ways, that okay, this is the assignment, this is the way I'm going to assign the work, I'm going to assign the project, which may help us to increase the productivity by 20%. Team members only need to increase productivity by a small amount, making it an achievable goal. Now, let's say there is a team of 10 people who are working towards increasing the productivity of the organization. Now, they don't have to focus at okay, we have to, let's say, the productivity last year, the productivity was first quarter, the productivity was 1 crore, and now we have to no, 1 lakh, and now we have to go with 1,20,000. So what we are going to do, each person don't have to contribute towards increasing their productivity by 20,000, right? What they have to do, whatever productivity they have done last time, let's say with their productivity they could manage to increase the production by 20%, 20,000. So that means 20,000 plus 20% above that, it is what every person need to contribute to their last productivity in, plus the percentage of increase which we are asking. That is what each individual need to contribute. And if each individual is focusing on contributing that specific part, that will make it achievable for them to increase the productivity together by 20%. Because if each individual who is contributing is going to increase the productivity by 20% for themselves, to ultimately in total the productivity of the entire quarter will be increased by 20%. So it is said that team members only need to increase the productivity by the small amount, making it an achievable goal. Because we all know that companies often measure team productivity through work, due dates, turn-ins, achievements, productivity, the objectives which have been done relevant to the current work. These are the bases, these are the things which are considered in measuring the productivity of the team. So the goal includes a due date, as well as the outlining the end of the second quarter. That okay, this is the end of the second quarter and this is the due date by which we need to meet the target. So this adds as a time bound nature to the goal, making it a well rounded smart goal. It is having all the features of smart goal, so we can say that yes, it is a smart goal. Second is improve second is improve retention rate by the end of the year. Now here what we have to do, we have to increase the retention rate in the organization. So even without a specific number or percentage, this goal remains specific enough to meet the smart goal. Why it is meeting the smart criteria? Because it is something which is achievable, there is a deadline, it's a realistic goal, and we can even measure this goal. So the company measures this goal by comparing the previous year retention rate to the current one. So what they will be doing, they'll be saying that okay, last year these many people were retained, so this was the retention rate, and this year this is the retention rate. So they will see that whether the retention rate has improved or not. So improving that retention rate within a year is both achievable and time bound, which will meet the criteria of SMART goals. So it's enough time for any changes to make an impact and set clear completion date. Having employees on site to achieve these goals makes the retention rate relevant as well. So we have clearly explained that why and how these goals have become SMART goals. Next comes is the increase profit by 35% by June 15. What do you think? Again, is it a realistic goal? Where we are saying that we have to increase the profit by 35% by June 15. Is it a realistic goal? Yes. We again connect this thing to the SMART goals, and this goal is specific in nature. Why it is a specific in nature? Because it is outlining the increased profit, that okay, this is the percentage of profit I want to increase, and along with that it is also adding the measurable percentage which we can consider for reaching and attaining our SMART goal. So increasing profit is relevant for any business in all the industries, in all the organization, as it is related to the bottom line and the company's overall survivability. The companies cannot survive if they are not increasing their yearly profit from year to year. It is very important for the companies to increase their survivability, and this is what this goal is directly related to the survivability, which says that yes, it is a realistic goal, and the goal set an objective of the due date that is time bound, making it time bound, and adding a specific completion date. So that S means specific, that is also there because there is specific completion date which is mentioned in this goal. So everything right from the specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, time bound, all the five things are there in this goal which is set. The next goal is open 3 additional branches within 5 years. Is it a realistic goal? Is it a SMART goal? Does it meet the criteria of SMART goals, like opening 3 branches, additional branches within 5 years? Yes, this again, goal is specific because it's setting the goal of opening the additional branches. The quantity of 3 makes it measurable even by giving the specific timeline deadline that is of 5 years. So it is both attainable as well as time bound. So most of the business run on this goal are thriving and growing. So yes, this again meets the criteria of setting the SMART goals, which is having specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time bound thing in this entire goal. Improve team communication skills by the end of the year. So again, this is a SMART goal because again, this is going to meet all the criteria of SMART goals where we are focusing on increasing the communication skills. So this can be measured by checking the level of the communication of the employees to whom the sessions skills were being provided. Then after communication skills, the time bound is there that by the end of the year we need to do this. This is again realistic and attainable because it is realistic because all the organization needs the people who are good with communication, because in all the organization now communication, it's not just about the educational qualification which helps you to get hired, but along with the educational qualification, nowadays your communication skills, your presentation skills are also an important add-on qualities, add-on skills which are required by the organization to hire you. So it is going to improve the team communication skills. It's going to create and implement a series. Okay, sorry. So this again makes it a SMART goal. Next says create and implement a series of 5 coaching initiatives by September 10th. So do you think it is a SMART goal? Creating and implementing a series of 5 coaching. Yes, because see, if you're going to see this goal, you can relate this goal directly to the goal number 4, which says opening 3 additional branches within 5 years. Same way, you are opening 5 coaching initiatives by September 20. So here it is time bound, realistic, achievable, specific, as well as it is measurable because you have given the limit. You have not told that I want to open the I want to take the coaching initiatives. No, how many initiatives you want to take, you have clearly described that number, that makes it realistic and specific. Improve client retention by 10% by the end of the third quarter. So this goal is again similar to the increased team productivity by 20% before the end of the second quarter. Right, so it is again the same where you want to improve the client retention by 10% by the end of the third quarter. Reduce employee turnover by 5% in 2 years. Again, the SMART goal. And increase collaboration efforts through 5 meetings over the next 6 months. So why I have taken these goals to make you understand that whatever goals, though the goal is of just one line, but it is having all the necessary features of being a SMART goals. You know, whichever goals we are setting, whether as a leader, whether as a follower. So no matter how you are setting the goals, it is very important that you set the goals which comes under the criteria of SMART goals. Why SMART goals? Is because SMART goal is something which is going to make your goal realistic and achievable. Let's say if I talk about the first goal, that is increase productivity by 20% before the end of second quarter. Now, if you come here and say that my goal, the goal of my team, which I have decided for this quarter, is increasing the productivity by the end of second quarter, do you think it is a SMART goal? See, here I'm saying increase team productivity by the end of second quarter. Is it a SMART goal? It cannot be a SMART goal because I want to increase the team productivity, but what, how much? If I going to increase the productivity by 1%, will it meet the criteria? That is what I was expecting. That is for what I have set the goals, because I just wanted to increase the productivity by 1%. No, it is you just want to increase the productivity, but you have not made it a realistic, made it a achievable goal, because there is no such productivity mentioned that by what person you want to increase the productivity. Or let's say if you have set the goal as I want to increase the team productivity by 20%, and if you have not given the time bond, if you have not written that by when you want to increase, by when you want to achieve this increased productivity, that is again not a specific goal. Because see, if I'm increasing the team productivity by 20% in next 2 years, will it affect, or will it achieve the goal which I have set? 2 years, in 2 years you're just increasing the productivity by 20%. Was it that you wanted to achieve for yourself? No, it was not that. So if there is no timeline, if there is no specific thing which is mentioned, if you cannot measure that thing, the ultimate goal which you have set for your team is a waste. So it is very important that whenever you are setting the goal, first list out all the goals which you have set for yourself. Once you have listed out the goal, just try to meet those goals with the SMART goal criteria, that whether your goals are falling under the SMART goal criteria or not, whether they are meeting that SMART, that is specific, measurable, realistic, achievable, and time bound, whether they are meeting that thing or not. If they are meeting, that means that yes, that goal is really achievable. You as a leader can ask your team, can ask your followers to work on that. But if those are not coming under the SMART criteria, that means you have not set the right goals. You need to make some implements. Like when I told that I want to increase the productivity by 20%, though it is not coming under the criteria of SMART goals. But if I'm going to make just a little change in this goal, that by saying that I want to achieve the productivity by 20, increase the productivity by 20% by the end of this quarter, by the end of second quarter. See, just by adding the word by the end of second quarter, it is going to make my goal a SMART goal. And that is what you have to do when you are setting the SMART goals. Okay, so with this, we have come to the end of today's session. Do you have any doubt related to whatever we have discussed today, that how do we set the SMART goals and some of the leadership goal examples which we have discussed? Do you have any doubt related to that? No? Okay, so if you don't have any doubt related to that, so we are done with today's session, and we are going to start up with the last session of the day, that is motivation, exactly at 4 o'clock, that is after half an hour. Yeah, bye bye. Have a good day.